So, hi guys. Hello, everyone. We have a really interesting event today. As Haik said, my name is Giorgi. I'm from Georgia. And today I will be speaking about startup Optio AI, which we want to call Optio without AI. And we define AI as adaptive intelligence. So before I start my presentation, which will approximately take 10 minutes, big thank you for the organizers for making this happen and for giving me opportunity to be on the stage today. DataFest is something really special for me. So, Optio. I will introduce myself. My background is mainly coming from the big corporates. I have spent 10 years in working in the two biggest Georgian banks, TBC and BOG, working on different type of tech projects, leading departments and the units. For the past 2-3 years, I'm fully committed to startup Optio. And today I will tell you a little story, how we turned one product to another, and I hope it will be interesting for you. So the product that we are building together in Optio, we call it Customer Data Platform, also known as CDP. But it wasn't like that 3 years ago, back in 2017-18, when we launched Optio. First, we started working with the chatbot for millennials that help millennials to organize and manage their personal finances. But soon after we put this product as an MVP and went through the acceleration, we changed direction from B2C to B2B, because we found out that the technology behind this product was really, really interesting for the banks. And we started working. So if this used to be our previous logo, and today, during today's presentation, this is first time I'm revealing the new logo and new visual identity of Optio that has never nobody seen outside our team. So this used to be our logo. We started with the chatbot, as I mentioned, and then we put it to B2B direction, and we had products. Because the technology that was making this bot working, we split it into 4 different directions. But initially, we knew that small startup at the very beginning stage cannot really cope with the many products. So we had the idea to bring it to one and to consolidate the knowledge and the expertise that we have. So we decided that we don't want to have products but we need to have the product. So we started killing one by one each of them. And first that we killed was Optio Identity. Just a really quick description. It was the solution for the banks, or not only banks, to identify customers remotely and to onboard customers without bringing this customer to the branch. So we first of all, we killed this product, Optio Identity. Then we came to another product that we killed. It was conversational banking, but the technology behind this product, which is natural language processing engine, so-called NLP, we are still using in our product, existing product. And for instance, Bank of Georgia kicked off its customer support chatbot with the help of our NLP, and as far as I know, they for the past 2 years they have been using it up to last month, October. So we are really proud of this partnership. And what I really want to note is that all these products are not just the products. We had the paying customers behind that. And for the early stage startup, it's absolutely painful to kill the product for what somebody's paying you money when you so in an urge of the investment and the capital. So we killed these two, and when we came to these two modules, which is Optio Discovery and Optio Insight, we realized that we can merge these two into one. And I will give you the time frame, how the things evolved, and it will be maybe more interesting for you. So, so here is 2000, not in 2001, notice 201 in 2018. So in 2018, initially we launched this module, which was the transaction categorization engine for the banks. It helps banks to understand their customer behavior better and to enrich the information and to put more data on top of the simple transactions that customers are doing. Soon after that, we realized in 2019 that we needed the application to give the opportunity to bank marketing and business employees to see this information, to interact with this data. And we put it some kind of pre-built charts there on this web application. And soon we launched this interface in 2019. And then when we looked, and the process, what you see here was really interacting with our existing customers and partners. So we had an idea, we had the problems with the banks, and we tried to implement it in real life. And soon we realized that this well-organized and rich data is really good basis for putting machine learning on top of this. And at the end of 2019, we integrated here the machine learning algorithms that are predicting customers' future steps. So in short, they are predicting who are the customers who have the higher probability of buying loan or deposit or anything else, which is really useful when you are trying to run the marketing campaigns. And at the beginning of 2020, when the pandemic hit, we thought that when you are in the bank and you have all this information organized in this way, like you have enriched data, you have the web interface and the machine learning on top of this, you need the tool to target these customers. You need to have an action on this information. So we built the campaign management module and we delivered it to the banks again. So that was the moment when we realized that something that we are working on and we are building, it already has the name, and its name is the Customer Data Platform. It's quite a big sector in tech. And only in this year, 2022, the global revenue for Customer Data Platform sector reached more than $2 billion. And this revenue is increasing by 25% each year. So we said that what we are building here, it already had the name. We are not inventing the bicycle from scratch. And we merged everything into one piece and one product, and we called it Customer Data Platform, and we released it once again as the platform, and we delivered it to our paying existing customers. So in 2022, we already have three banks who are using our platform. The fourth one is coming already in the list, but I cannot publish the name, unfortunately. So we are currently operating on the local market, and what we call CDP and what is the process behind it, I will want to really quickly give you this snapshot. So the process, what Customer Data Platform do is like organizing a sales process from raw data to the successful sale. And the Optio in between is helping banks, and currently banks only, on each and every step this process needs. So with the data enrichment, data consolidation, machine learning algorithms and analytics, segment designer, then planning the campaigns in multi-channel, and then measuring this performance of the campaigns. So this is really crucial process, and data-driven campaigns are always having higher performance rate than just the simple campaigns when you're pushing the outbound communication, which is something, the statement that I hope will not be discussed during this event at least. So this is the CDP, what we are building. This is the process helping the banks to organize data-driven campaigns with the help of machine learning. It is organized with the three technical modules, which is data, intelligence, and engagements. The naming wasn't like this. It's because the screen. I don't want to deep dive into the technical details, but all this is organized on with the help of Optio Core. And this product has the really high demand on the local market, and not only local market. And if you ever felt that the organization that you are the customer with is feeling what you really need, and you are getting the right message at the right time, a right offer, it means that somewhere in behind that maybe Optio is helping this organization. So this is really short. So it's really short about the product that we are doing and building. I'm really limited with the time. I don't know how much time do I have. So what else is that when we reached this moment that we realized what we are building is something really interesting, and it's quite a big enterprise solution. We decided that we need to have a new suit, like new visual identity, because the logo that you see with what we started and kicked off back in 2017 was generated by free logo generator from Google, and the name also. And this we turned after many discussions with this. I hope you will like it. Thank you, Heike. And so we decided to bring to the life the new identity of Optio, which now looks like this, and we haven't published it, as I mentioned. So this is a really big opportunity for me to speak with this audience today with this new visual identity. So that's how it looks like. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm more than welcome to answer these questions. If not, like the stage is for the next startup. Thank you.
So let's open the floor to the questions to the audience. But first of all, again, congrats with the rebranding, congrats with the new brand reveal. We at DataFest Tbilisi feel very special that you choose our stage to announce that. We've been following Optio, I would say Optio AI. We've been following Optio for many years now. We are super proud of you guys. Good luck. And yeah, let's see if we have questions from the audience. Just raise your hand and we will bring you a microphone. And by the way, this is also being streamed. So if there are any questions from our viewers on Zoom, you can ask questions.
If you
will be able to answer that.
If you have any questions, I can even tell you the kind of secrets if you want about the company.
While you are thinking of your questions, while you are thinking of questions, I'll be asking mine. Again, Giorgi, you've been in the tech startup ecosystem in this AI and data science community for quite a long time, and you come from the banking background, right? What are the biggest challenges today? I mean, we know about the challenges that the ecosystem faced a few years ago, and I believe they have dramatically changed. But what is your insight? What are the biggest challenges that your startup or the data science AI community at large is facing right now in Georgia?
Okay, so this is really interesting questions because challenges are always on the table. Like it's not, I haven't seen the momentum when there are no challenges and everything is okay, all right? So it's evolving, like something we saw 2-3 years ago, it's not now relevant, but now we have something else. Anyways, what really unites and what is always on the table is that when we are working with the AI and the machine learning, what we need to remember is that because there is a hype and we want to use AI, it doesn't mean we need to use it, okay? So currently challenge is that when we are working on a problem, when we are finding the specific problem, we are always pushing ourselves to do something cool. And meanwhile, there can be easier way with simple if-else's, you can solve this problem. And when I talk with the startups and the other community members, I always and often see, and I saw this and see, and I will see this probably, that people are really excited, especially the tech enthusiasts like the data scientists, machine learning engineers, then they are keen to use some kind of algorithms and not to solve the problem. So because I'm coming from the really, I mean, like the specific business, and there you need to have some specific business application. It doesn't matter what's happening in behind. So I'm always, my mind is working like, let's first of all be focused on solving specific problem and then try to manage somehow to make this AI working, because it's really hard. And then demands lots of work and technical capabilities and lots of capital, by the way. So that's my short answer to this question.
Thank you. Short enough. But I think very much to the point, just to paraphrase to basically said is, data scientists, machine learning engineers, having a bit more business oriented and actually solving the problem rather than creating an algorithm for the sake of creating the algorithm, right? And just to build on that, obviously, it's impossible to ignore what's happening in the labor market, what's happening in terms of the demand and the supply of, software developers, data scientists, ML engineers. Any challenges there, any opportunities there with the recent events?
Okay, so it's really good that we have this kind of event here, because like we see each other and we see that it's not really a couple of persons working on this field, like there is a huge people at least interested in this direction, okay? So yeah, we are having problems, but it's to be honest, it's not like happening with Georgia only. I have friends around the world, and I know that in Berlin again, in London and in other countries and states, same is happening, because there is a huge demand, there is a huge hype. This technology is just starting. It's only like 10 years, like 10 years ago when in TBC, we first started working on the statistics, turning it into machine learning. It was something kind of rocket science, really, okay? And 10 years for technology is nothing. So I hope we will have more and more people like in this field. and we are having this problem, and then somehow demand and the supply will reach each other.
It's a good problem to have, right? But also in the light of the recent events in Silicon Valley, but also globally, all of these, tech giants like Meta and Twitter and many others having these huge layoffs, like firing tens of thousands of software engineers, some of them being obviously with a data science background. I think it's an opportunity for the startups, to bring these people to join your teams. But I also see a spin-off opportunity because some of them might not want necessarily to go back, to work for someone in a large corporation or even a startup, and they might start their own startups.
Yeah, actually, local scene has changed during the pandemic a lot. We have a big players on the market like EPAM and other players who are actually helping people, these kind of specialists, to find work outside the Georgia without leaving their comfy room. So yeah, we are constantly working and engaging with these professionals who are working with Optio on a project basis, which is really useful for us because we don't have big money commitment and we are having the specific issue to be solved, which is really interesting for small, tiny startups. And I totally agree that these people who are laid off from Facebook, Twitter, and other big tech companies, maybe they will rethink how and what they want to do, and maybe they will continue this project-based consulting type of working, especially those who have this really cool experience in their background.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I have one more question. Again, like you are a seasoned founder. I mean, you've been working on Optio for this much time, and you are a celebrity in the local startup ecosystem. I mean, you are a role model. I believe we should use this opportunity, for our community to learn something from you. But also, DataFest is truly international. We have so many, participants from other countries. What's your advice? Not necessarily like for a Georgian founder, but like in general, especially for a startup, which is tech-driven, data science-driven, AI-driven. And we admire the fact that you pivoted, right? When is the time to quit, and when is not the time to quit?
So honestly, I can tell you that I don't have answer to this, but entrepreneurship is I would describe entrepreneurship as a big doubt. So, that's the doubts when you are doing some kind, especially the high-tech startup, there is a small, tiny place in your mind that's always telling you that stop doing this and go to corporate or anything else where somebody else is leading and you are just grabbing lots of money and having lots of fun. So this doubt is always continuous. There is no formula when you need to quit, but there are lots of zombie startups on the scene, like that's not succeeding and that's not quitting also. I don't want Optio to reach that place, honestly, but if Optio will reach that place, that's absolutely okay because fail is absolutely normal in every person's and every startup's life. You just need to understand that you're failing and you say out loud. So there is no formula, but definitely like we are building this startup for more than 3 years. Pandemic helped us a lot to rethink what we are doing and reshape the product. If we will wait for 1 or 2 years, if it will not reach the momentum, the place that we want it to be, maybe not exactly the unicorn, but something at least international, we probably will think about what to do with it, but not exactly quitting. Maybe we'll turn Optio from high-tech startup to the SME, like small and medium enterprise type of company with maybe really interesting and innovative culture. So quitting startup kind of working and moving to the corporate type of working is also another option. It doesn't really mean that you are failing, but you are just changing the shape of the company from outside. Thank you
so much. So basically what Giorgi is saying is instead of quitting, you might necessarily want to quit and do a pivot. Just again, and the best way to do a pivot is again, like to understand what your customers want, to try to identify what other opportunities there are and try to, move towards that direction versus just saying, oh, my idea was terrible or it didn't work out and then move on. Again, there's nothing wrong with quitting, but before quitting, you might want to give a try to pivoting?
Yeah, pivoting is something really essential when you're doing startup. And what I show you this timeline is that really our existing customers, so having the customers and not working in the locked room somewhere in the back of the yard is something really that differentiates for me when you are doing the startup, because many ideas what I showed on the screen, but it was really small part of the whole product, is coming from our existing customers who not really maybe intentionally initiated the new ideas inside our startup. So they came to us with the problem that, guys, we are happy that you are giving us the data enriched and organized, but then what we cannot do anything with this data. So how do you think, can we do something with it? And then we thought that why not to build up the campaign management module to help them to contact and engage with their customers. And that's how we reached this place. So that's something really interesting, to interact with your own customers, because they are giving you so much insights about your own product.
Absolutely. And I guess my last question, unless we have questions in the audience, do we have someone who wants to, because I don't see the hand?
It's always really hard to ask the question from the audience. I feel you guys. It's same with me also when I'm sitting in the crowd. Like, I'm having lots of topics in my mind, but like maybe I shouldn't ask it. It will sound stupid or something.
If you don't ask questions to us, we will be asking questions to you, right?
Okay.
I'm joking. Well, I have a question, and I've been asking these questions for the past 3-4 years. You know, in different platforms, in different media. But I'm talking about the digitalization of the Georgian language. And you obviously know, Georgian is a relatively small language, not that many people, talk that. Google Translate with Georgian doesn't necessarily perform well, and that's a good sign that, if Google hasn't mastered that, are the other, tech companies and startups going to master that? But I believe there is some progress. Right. So, and I also know that our partner Bank of Georgia has been working on that. We had an amazing presentation about that, I believe, on the first day. But like, what's your perspective? And not necessarily only Georgian, but other small languages. Do they have a chance?
Yes, they do definitely have a chance. And this is the really hard place, because 3 years ago, when we, as I mentioned, we had this conversational banking solution as a solution, and we started first Georgian speaking chatbots. We spent lots of time and huge technical resources on it. And I think that for small startups, it's really hard to cope with this kind of big problems. But still, we managed to bring this to this state when, for instance, Bank of Georgia was really interested and said that maybe we in cooperation can together with your experience and your technology kick off this customer support chatbot, which was really huge success, because and pandemic hit it at that moment, and the traffic to the contact center increased like 1,000 times, and we helped them to offload more than 20% of the conversations that was coming to the contact center. So this is a huge in terms of numbers when you are converting into the Georgian laris, okay? But it was something really small, not maybe scalable. When they saw the opportunity, they started working on this topic on their own. We helped a lot. We gave them technology, everything what they needed. And now, as I mentioned, like from the last months, they are taking it over and they are continuing this work. I don't know that kind of small startups like Optio. It's more kind of R&D place, like you are putting lots of money and you never see the commercial success you don't see from this place. So investors are not interested. Nobody's interested with Georgia or Armenia or Azerbaijan, which has like maximum 10 million in each country, okay, on average, like. And like Google's and big giants will come to this place after some time, probably. That's how we see it. But maybe if Bank of Georgia or big corporates will put enough money without thinking about the commercial revenue, maybe they will have the technology, at least on the stage, then when they will say to Google that, okay, we already are here on the market and you can buy our technology or something like that. At least for small startups like Optio, I don't think that it's reachable, that place, because we are so much revenue driven company as all the other companies like us. So that's how I see it. So it's doable, absolutely, but you need lots of technology, people, patience, and the money. That's all.
Excellent. I think this sounds very optimistic. Thank you so much, Giorgi.